Hello, friends. Welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me or joining us. We got a pretty good group today. Our patient is this tiny, tiny little computer. It's hard
Raf,
even to describe it, what it is. Um,
you had you had an echo bad in the beginning,
oh,
like feedback or something. You might want to start to do it again one more time.
it's fine. Uh,
Okay,
all
sorry.
right, the CPU in question is SR170, and the customer wants us to remove the CPU, clean the board, and prep it for the new CPU. And send it back. Then he's gonna do some measurements and stuff and ship it back to replace the new CPU. But I looked through it. We got plenty of something here. It's a little greenish, but I don't think that's corrosion. Looks like something has been removed from the board over here. Something's been ripped off, right? The trace over here. So it looks like we got a jumper over here. I assume the customer has the board view, so that's why this was done. This cup is a little bit too much to the left, but it's not touching. We confirmed that. The resistance on the core is roughly 50 ohms in forward, 26 ohms in reverse. I don't see any shorts. I don't see any other issues over here. We have nice BIOS on the nice little tray over here, so that's an older kind of design. No shorts, no nothings. We see some soldering over here, signs of soldering on the power jack. So I assume power jack was replaced, although these don't look like this looks like factory soldering only here. So maybe this is ID pen, maybe there was a problem, or maybe this is now just shorted to ground, so the ID pen doesn't matter anymore. Um, let's see, we have two slots for memory, probably DDR3, judging by how old this board is, but who knows? So first thing that I want to do is I want to clean it because it's got plenty of flux left over here and there, and all of that is going to boil. Now the CPU is tiny. We don't really need to use the BGA station per se, especially since we have plenty of plastic in the back. But all of this is ABS. We don't really worry about that. It's not gonna get damaged. Power on. Maybe we can cover this so power on button doesn't get damaged due to heat. But what I'm gonna do is 175 at the bottom at the most. We really don't need more, and we could do it with hot air, but I'm still gonna use the IR. I'm just gonna use much less aggressive profile. The board is really small, so it will heat up very quickly, and the the CPU will release at, I would think, around 190. So we don't even need to take it to 200
Around
degrees.
what? Around what? Around 200 and what?
200 degrees.
200? Yeah, we broke up there for a second. I think your battery.
Oh, yeah. Um, yeah. I still see the.
Yeah, you're good. You just had a quick, like a 1 second,
Well,
you know.
when I shared the camera through
Uh-huh.
OBS, then my
Oh,
rig is not powerful enough to hold that. But
gotcha.
uh, oh, and I didn't notice that. Take a look at this.
Oh, and it's
What?
also missing the network chip as well, right? The
Oh, right,
network
I
LAN
forgot to
chip.
mention. But also, yeah. So this is physical damage to the board. Definitely, this via is probably gone. And yes, the LAN chip looks like it has been removed. There's 13 ohms on the LAN chip. So it probably wasn't the LAN chip that was faulty. Something else might be. Although 13 ohms is not that short by no means. So who knows? Also, the LAN chip could prevent it from booting. Who knows? So something to look into. But the final. So let's remove the chip. Let's remove the CPU. and send it back just as requested. But my gut and lead farmer's gut is telling us that this is not a shorted CPU. I mean, if this was a CPU issue, likely it would be shorted. This is not shorted, so I would guess that it probably is not a CPU issue, rather power delivery issue. But there's one way to find out.
You
So
broke
let's
up there.
drop it in the ultrasonic cleaner, clean the
We
crap
could
out
al-
of it,
we
and
could also go thermal maybe, or like inject 1 volt on that CPU, see if it's even or if it's in a corner of the CPU.
right.
Take a picture and send it to the customer.
Yeah, yeah. If there is a tiny light, tiny blip at the one corner of the CPU or in one
Yep.
spot of the CPU, yeah, that's definitely, and that could be the issue, right?
Yeah.
Because I only tested vCore. It could be maybe memory is shorted. Who knows? It kind of feels like the customer has the board view for this, judging by the what do you call it? By the jumper and retracing over here. So if he concludes that this is a CPU issue, let's do that. Let's just remove the CPU and ship it back. Alrighty, I'll see you on the other side of this.
Smoke up the room better. Just kidding. All right, man. We need to get some of the hemp. You know they got hemp. Get some hemp and then just infuse it into the stuff, and then strain it out, so that they can have pine hemp scented. There you go.
Mm, no
Question,
problem.
fellas.
What's that?
I said question. I'm looking at some board view for Nintendo Switch. I don't do board view. I've never really gotten into it much. I've looked at it once or twice, but I just figured, well, let me look and see if I can find board view for Switch Lite. And I did, and it's on open board view. So I'm looking at open board view on a Switch Lite, and I'm trying to understand some of this diagram. If I'm looking at a capacitor, obviously I got one side that says ground, and the other side the value says N $10. What does the $ mean?
Nanofarad.
Oh, microfarad, okay, or nanofarad.
Yeah, if I'm correct, yeah.
Okay, so that's not resistance value. Or no, that is resistance, isn't it?
Well, no, it's nanofarad. It's how much it can hold in capacitance charge to filter out. So think of it like have you seen when you have this makeshift pipe that goes from one house to the other one, a PVC pipe, but then if you open up the water on the other side at the same time you're doing the shower, you get like a drop in pressure. Well, think of it if you put a 3-liter Fago halfway in between the house and over here. That give it a
Alrighty,
second, man.
this CPU is off, and I think I know the problem. It looks like it was liquid damage. So we haven't wicked it yet. So let's wick it and see the state of the pots. But I think the problem is not in CPU. The problem was in liquid damage. Let's see if we can see it over here. Some of it is flux. I didn't use any flux for removal, but all of this over here, yeah. I think this was just liquid damage. So perhaps the solder was just cracked or corroded or something like that.
It probably killed the PCH though. If it got wet like that in power on that PCH, it probably killed it. So
Could be. Could be.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna wick it and let's see what we can see after that. Alrighty, the CPU is off, the board is clean, everything looks good over here. So it is ready for your testing, whatever you want to do with this. And let me know, ship it back, and we're gonna replace the CPU. But I'm pretty sure it was just the liquid damage problem under the CPU, maybe some corrosion, cracked solder or something like that, and probably that was the problem, but we'll see. Alrighty, thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I shall see you guys
In the next one.